I'm Jared Fry, General Manager of Medina TV.
Hi, and I'm Jacqueline Rinksmeyer, Executive Director of the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce. The mission of the Chamber of Commerce is to serve our member investors and promote business interests through economic development, business advocacy, and member services, which benefits the Greater Medina community. The Chamber is funded by voluntary membership from the business community. It is a not-for-profit, nonpartisan business organization, and we do not receive tax dollars to operate the organization. The Chamber does not endorse candidates, but strives to educate the voters on both the candidates and the issues. And we are pleased to partner with Medina TV to bring these interviews to you. This program would not be possible without this collaboration. So thank you to our interviewer, Jared Fry, and our producer, Matt Tomick.
And as always, the views expressed in these interviews do not necessarily reflect those of Medina TV or the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce. We thank you for tuning in to the 2022 Candidates Forum and remind you to vote on November 8th. Joining us now in studio is candidate for the Court of Common Pleas Court for Medina, Bill Hutson. Bill, thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to Medina TV.
Yeah, thank you. And I will take a moment here, and why don't you take a few seconds for people that may not know you, just kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm Bill Hutson. I'm currently a county commissioner and have been serving as such for the last 6 years. I've been a lawyer for the last 31 years, and for the last 10 years or so, I've had my own solo law practice here in Medina. And prior to that, I was with Westfield Insurance Company for 31 years and worked on all manners of legal issues, including litigation, civil litigation predominantly, and various corporate matters.
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people have been blessed that they haven't had to go into the Court of Common Pleas, but take a few moments and just kind of explain what actually happens and what it takes to be a Court of Common Pleas judge.
Sure. So the Court of Common Pleas is a dispute mechanism. It is designed to resolve disputes, and whether they're between civil litigants. So, for instance, a breach of contract claim, you've got a plaintiff and a defendant, and the court's role is to facilitate the resolution of that conflict. On the criminal side of it, it is to try cases that the prosecutor and/or defendant's counsel can't agree on a resolution to. And so really its predominant role is as a dispute resolution mechanism. There's two requirements under Ohio law to be a common pleas judge, and the first is you have to be a lawyer. I graduated from Capital University 31 years ago, and so I meet that qualification. And second qualification is you have to be a lawyer for 6 years, and obviously I have far surpassed that.
And you kind of touched on this a little bit with some of your answers, but I'll give you an opportunity to expand. What skills or expertise do you feel you bring to this position?
In particular, for pretty much all of my career, I have been involved in dispute resolution of one form or another. I've done mediations, I've done trials, just about any way that a case process can go for a resolution of a dispute, I've done. And in particular, I like to listen to people and understand what the issues are, and then try to find commonality between the two sides and bring them together to a resolution if they can. And if not, you try the case, whether it's to a jury or to the bench, and a decision is made, and the parties go forward.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think you perceive as, in this term of if elected judge, what do you see as some of the greatest obstacles to the justice system, maybe as a whole, and then maybe just here on the local level? What do you see as some of the obstacles you would face if elected?
In general, obstacles to the legal system, and particularly the judiciary. There is an awful lot of controversy now, particularly with the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, about whether the court is biased or not. I believe that a judge needs to be impartial. And you listen to the facts that are presented to you, you apply the law, and that drives the conclusion. I'm not the type of person that's going to instill my own personal bias into a case to steer it one way or the other. I think the judge's role is to be unbiased and just provide a fair process for the litigants to resolve their dispute. So one of the other obstacles that I would see is more to the profession and the lack of civility amongst many lawyers. It used to be that it was more of a gentle person's venue for resolving dispute, and what I have seen develop over the last 10 to 15 years is a general sense of if I can get one over on you in this particular case, I'll probably never see you again, so it doesn't make any difference. And particularly in Medina County, the Medina County Bar Association attorneys are very close. We are going to see each other again in another venue at another time, and so there is, it tends to be a greater civility here, but I would say overall in the profession, there is a developing lack of civility that concerns me.
Now, in terms of leadership, you kind of ran through your experience and leadership skills that you have. What would you say, when you look at your leadership skills, sets you apart from others running for office?
I tend to be a people person, and I engage people in the process. And, you know, I would like to bring them together and not try to divide them. I think it's important that from a process standpoint, that a judge be impartial and unbiased, and that I think is part of my general temperament. And I think judicial temperament is very, very important for this role. You don't want to have someone who engages in the process and is a volatile individual who is not going to bring people together. And my whole history of working at the county, at the company, at the village, all the various, even nonprofits that I've been with, my goal has always been to bring people together, drive consensus, and to get things accomplished. And I think I can apply that to this role.
Now, you bring a unique circumstance in that you are currently a county commissioner and oversee a lot of the operations of the courts. So if elected to this position, does that work as a detriment to you or as an advantage to you as you look to this working in the Court of Common Pleas?
It's very much an advantage. So the real interaction between the county commissioners and judges in general is more from a funding standpoint. And because I've sat on that side of the table, I understand that the county is constrained in its resources and that judges have to be reasonable in their requests. And so I think that I would work well with the county commissioners being able to appreciate what they're going through and their constraints relative to what the needs of the court are.
Does it make you look at your perception, not necessarily how you voted or have handled things as a commissioner, but does it change your perception of a lot of the comments and everything regarding the new courthouse building? If elected, switching hats to the judge's side and the perception versus the commissioner's side, and I guess is there going to be a change, or how would you balance that out?
I have been a strong advocate for the new courthouse from day one. In fact, I put together the committees that assessed all the county facilities and then focused on the courthouse as the principal need for the county. And I did that at a time when I was just a new commissioner, and my focus really was on the financial aspects of the county and making sure that the county planned for the needs of the community going forward. And I did not have any idea that I would be sitting in this chair running for Common Pleas judge at that time. So it changes my perspective in that I can't be an advocate for certain things. I mean, again, I have to be unbiased in the role of a judge. But I'm very proud of the courthouse and the addition that we are constructing. I'm happy to say that it is on target and under budget. And so I look forward to being an occupant of it, something that, again, I did not intend when I set out to create it.
We're speaking with Bill Hutson, the candidate for the Medina County Court of Common Pleas, and want to thank you for taking your time today to be part of the political process, and let me ask you a few questions, but I want to make sure I leave you the opportunity. If there's something I did not touch on, I want to give you the opportunity for you to speak directly to the voters, so I'll turn the mic over to you then.
Thank you, Jared. So I'm Bill Hutson, and again, I'm a candidate for Common Pleas Judge. I am running for the judgeship that is currently occupied by Judge Collier. Judge Collier is retiring and is not running again. And I have the background, I have the temperament, I am an impartial, competent, diligent individual, and I look forward to having the opportunity to serve Medina County in a role that is a little different than what I have served in the past, but I would enjoy and appreciate everyone's support to allow me to continue to serve. Thank you.
And thank you. Again, that's Bill Hutson, candidate for Medina County Court of Common Pleas. Thank you again for being part of this today, and I wish you the best of luck this November.
Thank you, Jared.